Uh, so, thank you so much for inviting me to this webinar, which is being organized for the students and under the SSIP cell. And from the bottom of my heart, I thank Professor Dhiman, who is the principal of the Government Engineering College Surat, and SSIP coordinator, Honorable Professor Bhupen Panjalji. And heartfelt thank to Darshan for getting in touch with me. I and Darshan got in touch when we organized few hackathons at AURO University, and I remember still there was a team from Government Engineering College who has extended their heartfelt support to us during this time. So I cannot deny that request from Darshan. So I'm in front of you. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, SSIP Cell, for inviting me into this session. Very aptly said by Professor Panchal Saab and Darshan also, that these days there are a lot of issues which are being coming up in the area of human life, and people are standing at the crossroads and they are not able to understand that how to move ahead. And during the last 3-4 years, especially in the state of Gujarat and overall in India also, Government of India, as Darshan has rightly mentioned, the Prime Minister has a vision of creating a startup culture across India. And being a state from where he belongs to, Gujarat is coming up first in the last two edition of the survey done by the Government of India. So thanks to all the coordinators who are doing a wonderful work, and they are coming up with an environment where a student can leverage the idea into a feasible plan, and then later on getting it into a process of commercialization. What I would like to do over here is I would ask, there are certain issues which a student has to focus upon as on today, because a startup innovation and entrepreneurship was there in the academic curriculum since last 20-25 years, when the NEN Foundation was trying to percolate entrepreneurship ideas into the minds of the students, and they were doing a lot of program on entrepreneurship, Vadvani Foundation, and they were trying to come out with that. But at this point of time, if I see the current scenario, what is the problem? So the first problem is that there is a crunch of job based on the skills which students have. The number two is that the Government of India has also requested the private enterprises, social bodies to come up and create ventures where the students who are coming up with the skill sets, they can be absorbed. Every year, we have a lot of students who are getting passed out of the college, and they are finding themselves at nowhere, and they are feeling frustrated, not because they're not able to get a job, but also because the kind of education which they have got and the learning which they have done, now the industry people are saying it is not equally matched. So I feel equally responsible where we as an institutions are not able to bridge that gap between the expectation of the industry and the curriculum which we are teaching. So there comes an opportunity for the students that rather than looking for a job, why not to create an eco-culture entrepreneurship system with your own startup and innovation process and provide job to the people. And the other aspect which I have seen is that every year there are a lot of students who submit their projects, thesis, on the basis of the project reports, on the basis of the PhD program. So what is happening to that? What implementation plan we are having among the students? And like this, to be very honest, the kind of education system we are going with, we have to bring radical changes. And these radical changes are in the scenario where we have to link our syllabus, our curriculum in such a manner that when a student graduates, there should be defined career path so that we can address those unemployment issue. And in the meantime, we should also focus on that apart from the curriculum, what are the additional skills which students can acquire so that in case they do not get the job of their choice, they can at least get the career of their choice. And through that process, they may land up into the issue of setting up their own entrepreneurship firm or maybe their own startup. So I foresee this as a challenge, because if you see the definition of innovation and startup leading to entrepreneurship, it is said that you have to identify some problem which is prevalent over there. My question is reverse, Why to look for a problem and get to a solution? Why don't you try to come out with some innovative solution where people are not able to identify the problem, but with your solution, their life becomes easy. So I give you a very good example. Uber, and normally people quote this example. Uber is working on sharing economy, and this is what I tell to my students at every point of time. Ki when we think of innovation, or when we think of incubation, or when we think of having a startup, or when we think of starting an own firm, we take two ends into consideration, and those two ends are okay from where I'm starting and where is the problem. We forgot that this startup innovation and entrepreneurship can also come in between those processes. So, in other way around, if you see the value chain which Uber is trying to come deliver with, Uber does not own any fleet of cars, so they have hired people. Those people who own the car, that is the condition they have created. For example, they said, okay, fine, you can pay through Google Pay or SBI debit card. They had a tie-up with them for financial services. Later on, Uber also started their Uber Eats. So what they are doing, they are just delivering the food. So what is Uber trying to do? Uber is trying to match consumer. So therefore, if you see the total value chain, at each point of value chain, they are adding something to it that can be thought of by the students who are working towards those innovation incubation, because our minds get limited to the process where we think, okay, from where should I start and where it should lead to. But there are many more opportunities in between, and I would request all the students to see that opportunity in that form of challenge. And therefore I say it is not a challenge, but rather it is an opportunity which is being created for us. So, what is the issue? These are the three issues I have identified. I may be wrong, and I will accept it heartily. That higher education has never given patronage to, support to innovation in a startup. It only started since last 4 years. So entrepreneurship was there, but why did it was not done? So very common example is Stanford University. How did Stanford started 20 years back, and what they are doing? So we as an education institutions, we have to think on that line, and we have to rework that. Are we as an institution providing support enough to the student, so that if they are not going into the class and they are working onto their incubation, can we include those into the credit system? Can we include that into the marking system? So that is a very radical thought which we have to bring into picture. Uh, the other, what I have seen into my institution also, and when I go to the other institution and talk about innovation and entrepreneurship, I have seen that a lot of innovation, that is nearly 80%, they die within the university system when the students are working on those innovation. My request to all of the students over here is take it to the next level. Even if you graduate, you can come back to your own institution as an alumni. Even if you graduate, you can go and request some other institution where you feel that you are having some other kind of uh, what you call support available, which your college is not providing. So what I'm trying to say, that we may complain for many things, but why don't we find an alternative to those complaints? And the best part what I have seen is that out of this, a lot of projects die because we are not able to provide them support, and we are not able to provide them handholding. And therefore, in this regard, the government of Gujarat has started this student startup and innovation policy. And I would request that please try to get into the detail of this policy and take advantage. Now, I know that everybody is aware about it, but I would still like to share that there's a portal given startupindia.gov.in. You can go over there, you can do the process of registration and then start your innovation and incubation and entrepreneurship model. Darshan has rightly mentioned that there I will cover those emerging area, but here I would like to highlight that these days government of India is also looking for supporting those entrepreneurship and startup ideas which are especially focusing upon artificial intelligence and big data and machine learning. I give you one example. The corridor from Rajasthan to Delhi, basically from Jaipur to Delhi, and is now going to work for running full-fledged electric vehicles. Now, Government of India is looking for people who can provide recharge stations. And you'll be surprised to know that the Government of India is having problem to find people who can set up the battery recharge station. It is like a petrol pump. So when we go through highway, we need petrol, we go to petrol pump, get a tank filled, and we go further. and government of India is not able to get enough people who can open those recharge station. Think of this line: can you become one of those entrepreneurs who is providing solution to the problem which is there in the value chain? Second is, same government is trying to come up to test it in between Ahmedabad to Bombay. And believe me, since last 3 years, they are not able to find enough support to bring this project to the state of Gujarat and link it to Maharashtra. Can the students who are studying into different programs, can they think of becoming an entrepreneur by providing any kind of support over here? And that is what I have mentioned, that please try to link your ideas to the solution, which may be also for the intermediate channel partner rather than looking only from the starting to the end point. So these are the few datas which is mentioned over there. I would request whenever you all get time, try to go and see that are you in a position to get advantage of any of these facilities. So there are people who are sitting over there who are looking for students like you who can come out with solutions to the problem. I give you the second example. There are a lot of students who are both deaf and dumb, and there are innovation happening. I know in GTU also they are doing one of the research. Uh, can you create some kind of solution where the deaf and dumb who is not able to listen or hear or say anything can read your signs, and through that he can interpret what you're trying to say and he can write. At least he can write, but because he cannot listen or say hear to you and speak to you, therefore he is not able to communicate. So what is the kind of solution you are trying to come up with to help those kind of people? Think of this: 7% of the population across the world is deaf and dumb. Think of the market which is there available for you, not only in terms of profitability, but also to help with the social cause. So all these facilities, all these ideas, they are lying idle over there. There are no takers. So my request to all the students, think on those lines and move ahead. Okay. Now, what are the benefits? So, as Darshan rightly mentioned, after 2016 it has started. So, these are the few facts. What I will try to suggest is that there should be some kind of innovative component, and this innovative component should be either in terms of new product, processes, or service, and that is where I mentioned. I give you the third example. There was a post offices across India, and you'll be surprised to know that. All these post offices are now useless. So government has big buildings, small offices, whatever you say. So what is the problem with the startup? They say, I don't have a space to work on. I don't have a resource to keep my things over there. Now government is also trying to use these post offices to create and start a clinic. Try to leverage that. Even if you're in a remote area, go and make a request that can you use those space for, because post offices are lying idle. Now government is collaborating with certain private agencies who will open their what you call storehouses, who will open their supply chain depot from those point of view in order to come out with some new measures and means for supporting the individual students. And that the most important factor is that these students who are looking for those ideas or solution, they need to be driven by an idea or urge to solve a problem. I give you one more example over here. So now there are a lot of activity coming up in terms of tourism, and the basic problem is that people still feel that they will get cheated by, and there are already a lot of apps which are working. But can you tell me, is there any app which tell you that if you are going to Dwarka, you will find 200 auto rickshaw drivers who will provide you services? You will find 500 what you call guides who will take you to the tour of Dwarka. You will have these 100 hotels, but the hotel may be there available on Make My Trip and Travel Advice, but there are a lot of other problems related to it. Can you come up with those solutions and try to take advantage of that? There is already we were as a part of the Unnat Bharat Abhiyan. We did some survey in the villages, and there's a lack of employment opportunities for the women over there who are living in the villages, because men go for a job or they go to the work on the field, and the women are lying sitting idle into their homes. They have nothing to do. Think of an entrepreneurship opportunity where you are recruiting those villages. So I went to a village called Damka near this place, near NTPC, and they were complaining that कि साहब जी हमारे पास कोई काम नहीं है, आपके यहाँ कोई काम हो तो हमें बताओ, हम घर बैठ के कर सकते हैं, हमें कुछ दो रोटी मिल जाएगी. I give you example of a entrepreneur who's based in Pune. He's running an NGO. It is called Mitti Ki Rang. Whenever you have time, try to see that. His NGO Mitti Ki Rang only employs widows women. Women who are widowed, they are being employed, and students like you, they are getting internship opportunity over there. And because Diwali is coming, so they are manufacturing the diyas, candles, and they are selling it. All the money which they are going to receive, they will cover the cost and give those to women. And these women, they are being employed from nearby areas from Pune. So don't try to look that, okay, once you complete your engineering degree, you will look for a job. It is good. We should try to also work on a career opportunity. But what about if I don't get a career opportunity, can I become an entrepreneur? So these are the few examples which I will try to help you to understand that there are opportunities for entrepreneurship to come up with. Okay. So then you have this funds available, so you get you get tax holiday for 3 years. There is a 80% exemption in patent filing for your knowledge, and information. India is very poor ranked in terms of patent filing. Now, as a student from the engineering college and as a student from the SSIP cell, can you come out with certain new innovations which can be patented? And patent can be done for anything. So we were trying to get a patent for trademark for region patent, we call it, for Locho from Surat, and we have been denied. The reason is we have been denied is they said नहीं you can't do it, आपका नहीं है ये. बट मेरे SSIP सेल के बच्चों ने किया था, तो बोले आप जितने सूरत में लोचो बनाते हैं उनको साइन लेके आओ, उनसे बात करो, उनका एक एसोसिएशन बनाओ. So there are many things which are there which we are not able to register our processes. So my suggestion is कि you need to think on that line, that how you can get into that. If you are looking for an entrepreneurship innovation, you will get a relaxation. These are the rules which you must be knowing. Uh, and nothing to go into detail. And at the same point of time, if you feel that you don't want to continue, there are students who have started well, but later on they sold those ideas to someone who is ready to pay for them. So, and in this way, you will get an access to the investors, industry, and authorities. So now, what can be done for you people like as students who are still there and who want to be there? So I personally feel there will be a lot of changes which are going to come in terms of policy and procedures. A lot of incubation cell has come, and accelerators are there already there working into the market where you can go and take. There is a lot of co-working spaces which are available where you can still go, which will help you to come out with that. The other format which I feel will be going to work, and we are also trying to work upon that, is the community lab. And this community lab, if you see, it is not available in Gujarat, but it is available in other states. So though we are ranked first from the last 2 years, how we can come out with those community lab. And this is where, we wish that the seniors who are there with you, who are successful, try to become a piggyback on them, and you will be able to mm, get some ideas from them. So we call it as a coco model, that okay, once you get, you move ahead and do it. This is again the policy that the biggest apprehension which students are having. If I tell my idea to someone, will they take away my idea and start their own? Do not worry for that. We have a policy as such where we call it non-disclosure agreement, and we focus upon that. So, and we have students who have very good ideas. So one of the students, he's working on Gir cow milk for medicinal benefits, and uh, what we do normally is we try to encourage that, but in not many places there are rejections happening because of commercialization. But I would suggest don't get bogged down by the rejections. If two universities or three universities or SSIP cell will reject you, fourth may take you of their interest. So try to work on that. There is already a ready-made template. We call it business canvas plan. So try to work on that. And my one more request to everyone is that try to bring as many stakeholders as possible. And when you will try to bring stakeholders into your process, you can scale up and you can accelerate the process of incubation, because single mind may have a limited thought process in terms of the ideas, but when you combine together with a different number of people, there is a possibility that it may take it to the next level. uh, what I suggest personally, that there are a lot of startups happening. Try to attend that, you will get an opportunity. There are bootstrapping happening, there are incubators, there are accelerators, there are angel investment available. Surat still is not very much active in terms of having angel investors, so you have to look outside Surat. So maybe you can look towards Rajasthan, you can look towards Maharashtra, where you will find a lot of angel investors who are ready to listen to you, because it is a patient, task where your ideas has to be listened by someone. And then there are a lot of guidelines which are there in reference to the mentors and mentee. One more problem you will find, that when you will try to promote your ideas, there are people who will say, why don't you become partner and we will share the revenue? My suggestion is, don't say no, but also don't say yes, because you never know that what kind of support you are going to get from them. So this is what I would suggest. And lot of institutions who are helping your students like you in terms of these. So I'm not going into detail, but yes, they are coming up with these. Now, the biggest question is jobs created. What is happening over here is that you need to find it out that how you are going to create those jobs. Recently, we had a discussion, good discussion with few of the venture capitalists in Pune, and we were talking to them. So they said, fine, if you cannot enter into a partnership with us because your students are still not ready, why don't you come out with for some alliances? And we said, okay, fine. What is this alliances? They said, you call us when your student is ready with your idea. We will think upon, we will listen to them. If we feel that the idea has to be taken to the next level, we will help them. So that is also possible for your journey towards entrepreneurship. So that is very important, and then you can have your mentors on your board who will be regularly supporting you. And so what is this, where you can go and check it out? So there are apart from your institution, in order to germinate your ideas and take it to the level of entrepreneurship, there are a lot of startups which are there who will help you with that. So you piggyback with them and take it forward. uh, Remember one thing, there are these startups. I know one department of government of India, it is called ease of doing business. My suggestion and request to each of the students over here is, you go and check out their website. There are a lot of projects, small projects, where they are inviting students like you from the engineering background, and they're asking you to come and sit with them and discuss those ideas. They have an office, I believe, in Delhi at Connaught Place. So you can go, you can book that, and you will be given direction by few specialized mentors. So, but then what they suggest is that once you do that, and if you want wish to continue, then you have to earn that space. Earn that space means that it should be really, what you call, can be converted into some perspective. So my suggestion is, try to read that. Now, what is the recent trends? Because this is what Darshan requested me, that how we can talk about the recent trends which are happening. My biggest issue is that there are a lot of co-working spaces, but are those co-working spaces coordinating among themselves to create a resource sharing platform? I think that is missing. That should be done. Mentoring support, we have a lot of mentors, but again the question is, do we have specialized mentor? So sometimes when you have a very good idea, but you feel that the person with whom you're talking, they are not specialized into it, then you can. For example, one of my students came and he said, "Sir, I want to manufacture handmade soap from this flower waste which are coming out of this mandir, masjid, and everywhere." I said, "Fine, you can go and do it, but I'm not the right person." So he said, "No, no, I am asking you only for the purpose of marketing. I have a mentor who will help me to convert those flower petals through some chemicals, and then we will do it." I said, "Fine." So when I discussed with him in detail, what he told me, that he's working with 6 mentors. So one was talking in terms of putting chemicals, one was in terms of how to collect these, flowers from different temple and masjids, and then he was talking to someone else who will help him to store these flower waste, and like this. So my suggestion is that you may look for specialized support, but try to do from few more mentors rather than one or two. A lot of government organizations, even private institutions, they are now providing support in form of CSR funding, and 2% of the profit they should incur into CSR. Try to tap that. Lot of city hubs where the because in Surat we have Surti ILAB, so you can try to use their support which is available over there, and that will help you to uh, get into details of the opportunity. A lot of students who are working from the engineering background, there they need a support of the latest technology and other things. So I would request that apart from your own institution, try to see and get an opportunity to work with other institutions where, because always we find that our institution is lacking in something or the other. So as a student, we always feel like, so why not as a student you try to find out opportunity? For example, IT Gandhinagar, India Upadhyay University, some few private setups in Pune and Mumbai, they are providing support to the students. Try to take the help into that. And one of the biggest challenge which is coming is that when we come up with an idea and we create that idea, we feel it is fantastic. Uh, but when we go on to the stage where we try to commercialize, or we try to find out whether it can be converted into a minimum viable product, we find industry experts are saying no, it is not useful. My suggestion is that when you are trying to incubate those ideas, get immediately in touch with some industry expert who will tell you from the point whether it can be brought to that extent or not, because that is one of the biggest issue which is there. And there are many associations where commercial organizations, institutions like Chamber, Association, FICCI, CII, they all have now startup incubation and entrepreneurship committees. Uh, if you are not finding someone who can help you, try to go and tell them that this is what I am. Please help me with this, and they will do you. They will try to help you. These associations are also tying with some venture capitalists and angel investors. There are few independent angel investors in different cities. Try to write to them directly if you feel that your idea is powerful enough. And I give you one example. There was one student from Ahmedabad, and there's a, basically when you go for urination, it is basically for women. They have come with P-Safe, and it is very famous now. One of the angel investors from Surat himself has supported that startup. So think of this, angel investor from Surat supporting a student from Ahmedabad. So why not a student from Surat can take advantage for that? So that you need to find it out. And then there are certain commercial organizations, professional organizations like TIE, NCD, ADI. They all have strong network support in terms of helping you with entrepreneurial setups. Just for your information, there are a lot of training programs which happen. So we feel that who will go, how they will allow us, but there are a lot of training programs which are conducted free of cost, and they just look for students. To my surprise, there are a lot of programs from media. At some point of time, they have vacancy. Students don't apply. Take that opportunity, get that knowledge, and try to bring into your process. Now, these are certain emerging trends which Darshan also talked about. So think of coming out with certain AI-based technology skills. I give you one more example. The people in the villages, they go with their cattle when the cattle feeds in the ground, and they have to wait over there maybe for 6 hours, 4 hours, 10 hours, till the time all cattle they eat the grass and they take them back to their places. Can we create some kind of tracking system where, as banks have put a GPS system into the ears of the buffaloes and cows, can we put some that so that a person should not go, but they can track within the area where the cattle are going, or they can keep a track of cattle through their process of managing how many numbers and where they are going. So think on that line. Can you bring that? Then there is another emerging area which is coming up, that a lot of innovations are happening, but those innovation die at very early stage. Try to bring innovation driven startup, and though we say every startup is innovatively driven, but just check it out, it is not happening like that. And then the major issue is that provide a solution for the problem which is existing today, but that solution will come when you come out with those ideas into a commercialization process. As an entrepreneur, what you have to do is you have to find the current problem. But when by the time you are coming out with the product, it should have a solution. I give you a very good example. Godrej. Yeah. And Godrej is very well known for manufacturing locks and now into too many sectors. Uh, Godrej came out with a refrigerator some 10, 15 years back. Think of this time when they had an innovation. And they thought ki people in the villages are not using fridge refrigerators. Can they come out with? So they came out with Godrej Chotu Cool. And now that Chotu Cool is being converted into n number of versions of Chotu Cool by same company. So the product which was launched for the rural area is now being used for the urban area. Go and check it out on the Gode website, and you'll be surprised to know that they have now created around 7 to 8 variations. Because the problem was there, even the people in the urban area were not able to get the solution for it, and they created that alternative. So think on that line. Other most important factor which I feel is that lot of startups, due to finance, they get into different directions. I don't want to say that everybody is wrong or everybody is right, and they do later on something wrong. But there's a great need where we try to educate students like you for ethical and social training, because this is where you need to keep in mind that your project, your entrepreneurship business, or your innovation solution should be catering to the mass at large. So it is affecting or bringing change into the livelihood of the individuals. It is bringing change into the standard of living of the people. And whatever you are trying to do, that should be done ethically. I give you a very good example. There is a village in Kerala, I believe, and there's a tourist operator. The company name is Blue Yonder. What he does is he said, I will take you to a tour of a cities in Kerala, but company will be focusing on conscious traveling. Think of this. He's also one of the startups. Now, conscious traveling here means that, okay, fine, while we are traveling to different places, we will not harm environment. While we are traveling different places, we will try to promote local people. While we are traveling within the state of Kerala, we will try to see only those that are natural over there. We will not go for any artificial museums and all those things. Think on this line. What he's trying to do, he's just trying to create that awareness for the benefit of the larger community, and that is the people of Kerala. So I also personally feel that a student of these days, they miss on these angles. Try to bring that element into your business, and that will help you to grow like anything. There's a lot of innovation is happening onto the clean tech and agri tech verticals. Check it out and try to come out with some kind of a solution where you can get into. These days it is on boom. It was earlier also, but after the lot of support from the government, think of uh, food processing area, because still I feel there's a lot of scope for you to start your own business in food processing area. So because still there is a problem of having stored food available in different parts of India. It may be available abroad, but not at least in India. So think on that line, you will get a solution. There is a one process where we have weekend model on a startup. I feel that a lot of institutions are there, but they need to aggressively promote the idea of entrepreneurship among the students, and that is only possible when we have this startup weekend model. One more way where the students come out with their entrepreneurship journey is by having, theater-based discussion. Normally, what we do is we come out with our own ideas, make a good presentation, put all the details, and we try to make a presentation. It becomes more monotonous. It becomes a very stereotype presentation. Can you come out with an idea while you are doing theater for the problem? Think on this line. It is very much popular in the foreign countries. Can you bring that idea? It is called as improve, and then there are certain steps which are already specified in the business model canvas. If you are having problem to give concrete shape to your business, try to focus on the given canvas, because these are proven models. This will help you to go in a specific directions. Then a lot of tools now which are available on what you call the digital space, which are free of cost, which are providing support for entrepreneurship. There's a program from Stanford. It is called in Stanford Lead. related to entrepreneurship. It is free of cost for a week, but if you want to enroll for a year, then they will charge you. But for a free week, 1 week, you can enroll and you can take advantage of it. One more area where I feel there is an opportunity that we have to professionalize mentorship. And what I mean by say, for example, Panchal Sahab may be having a lot of ideas, but you go to Panchal Sahab because you feel that you can talk to sir and sir is a SSIP coordinator. No, it should not be. It should be in a very strategic and specific manner. It should not be on the basis of ad hocism that okay, chalo aaj mil lete hain, kal nahi aayenge milne, and all those things. So that has to be done, and a very important factor. The other trend which I am seeing is there's a lot of stigma attached to the founder because 90%, 95% of the ideas they don't take to that level, and people fail, get a tag of failure. Can we create some kind of think of this line? Can you create an entrepreneurship model where you can say that you will be able to provide a business model to train the founders who have failed once or twice, and then they can regroup again and maybe coming out with some new opportunity. This trend is coming up very much, and I would request that you should also try to get opportunity to go for a reverse pitch. Now, what is the reverse pitch is? That pitch is basically when I have an idea, I go in front of a corporate house and I say, boss, I have a very good idea. Please listen to me. If you feel you can buy my idea or you can support me, I will ask you to do a reverse way. You go and talk to companies and try to find it out. Sir, do you have problems? And if you are having problems, can you list out the areas in which you are having problem and list down their problems? That is what we say innovation. Try to find out future solution for the current problem. So why don't you as a student go to companies and ask them what are the problems for which they are looking for solution? You will get fantastic ideas. And believe me, companies are also looking for people who can come and ask them, "Key boss, what is the problem?" But we as a student, we have our own inhibition where we don't want to go out of our comfort zone and try to find it out. You please try to do it. You definitely will get across some professional person who is ready to welcome you with their open hands. And this is very much popular now. And companies are trying to make a reverse pitch. Get advantage of that and try to come out with your own innovative ideas. And I personally feel that there are a lot of support which is coming up to build a good ecosystem across the different places. We need to integrate, and this integration will help you as a student to come across different people in different ecosystem where you can talk to them and find an opportunity to get a better version of taking that idea to the next level. And there is one more trend coming up. We have a lot of now startup studios. I give you two examples. There's one university in Udaipur. It is called as Shikshantar. I would request all the students to go to their website and see just a little bit of information. They are having 550 faculty members. Think of this line. They don't pay salary to the faculty members, but there are around 10,000 students who come every year to that university to study and go for a week, 10 days, 1 month, 2 months, till the time you want to. And they call it that they are now having this studio culture where people come, stay, discuss their problem, take a solution, and they go away. Depending upon whatever you pay to that and you leave. Similarly, I feel there's now a culture coming up where there are a lot of startups are now together, meeting, discussing their problem. There's one organization, most probably in down south, South India. It is called IMA. I don't remember the full name at this point of time, but they are doing a lot of these boot camps. So try to become a part of that boot camp. You will be meeting people who are doing some fantastic work and they have some great ideas, but they are also looking for people who can support them to take it to that entrepreneurship level. So this I feel is a lot of issues which are now coming up, and this will support your entrepreneurship journey. These are certain schemes available over there. I assume you are aware about it. If you're not, I'm just listing it over here. And you can, if you move to that level from POC to MMP, that is minimum viable product opportunity, you can apply for funding. And these institutions, they have fund to provide and support to the student idea. So there is one more program which is related to pre-incubation. It is called Prayas. So promoting and accelerating young and aspiring technology entrepreneurs. This is again supported by government departments under DST. Try to get seed money from certain other programs of STEP and ISTED. You will also find opportunity for getting some kind of mentorship support also. Then you also get you know, support for developing some kind of innovations in startup and MSME, and that is again a program called PRISM, which Government of India is trying to promote for the specific sectors. So I would suggest that see the problem of textile people in Surat, uh, go and sit with them for a week, try to understand what is the problem, and if you are in a position to give the support, you may come out with your own firm as an entrepreneur and try to promote them. So that will be really good for you to understand how government is trying to promote and support. Then there are a lot of organizations who are uh, providing motivation and support to the startup in terms of award and IPR support. Recently, I met an individual who is saying that students are not aware about the intellectual property. So your own idea can be copyrighted so that nobody can copy, but you don't know where to go. So when you are doing that, try to look for those IPR support. And what I have recently seen is that government is also trying to support where your startup or your entrepreneurship firm is helping into a big cause in terms of bringing social changes. And that has to be taken care by you, because those innovative ventures, those technologies for development, they are needed, but we are lacking in that. Now, there are certain, other schemes which government is coming up with. One is venture creation, where they link. Then there are certain scholarship options available. BIREC is providing a lot of funds for creating those labs. So if you know some labs which are operating under BIREC, it is a government granted fund. It is giving a fund of around 100 CR. Think of that and work. Gujkos is already having a few schemes. Then there are certain other ministries which are offering support to the entrepreneurs. A lot of innovation challenges are happening either by a private body or by a government organizations. Try to go and work upon it, and you will be able to see that what is the possibility of those innovation challenges. Center for Entrepreneurship and Development, it has a lot of schemes for entrepreneurs. I don't know how many of you are aware about it. Try to participate into that. They create awareness program through SSIP also. Attend those programs and you will be able to find it. I already mentioned there is a department by Government of India, Ease of Doing Business. A lot of schemes are available there. Try to take advantage of it. I already mentioned electric vehicle project is going on. They're inviting people who are ready to work for it. So the first project, pilot project, has already been tested between Rajasthan, Jaipur, and Delhi. Now, second one they're going to do between Ahmedabad and Bombay. Try to work onto that. And then there are a lot of intellectual property facilitation centers run by Government of India itself and by the professional bodies. Uh, and these are the certain business incubators for students where you can apply even if you're not a student over there. And that is what I was trying to tell you, that please reach out to them where you feel that you can not go in person, but at least you can take a support from them. So that is very important for you. So I feel I will share these details with Darshan, and Darshan can share with you all, and you will be in a position to all. Now I am not going into this, but if you have any, Darshan, if you have any questions, I would love to take it, because this is about SSIP. I hope your students are aware about it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I am not getting into this. So
Sir,
these are just.
if you want to discuss some of the glimpse, then you can go with it.
Hmm.
Some of the important things, if you want to discuss among the students, you can.
Okay, fine. So
It's
what
not
I
an
would,
issue.
yeah, no issues. So what I can suggest is that normally I would request to focus on these certain, areas where students, because normally we say, okay, fine, I want to do this incubation, but I'm not enough, what you call, having full awareness where to incubate. So this is the total process which we personally feel. that there are a lot of incubation facilities which are available now. What we have suggested is, it is not a 6 months plan. You have to dedicate yourself if you firmly believe into your idea. Uh, I give you another option, other project which one of the students who is trying to do. These days, there are a lot of focus on health, and a lot of people they are focusing on exercise and all those things. One example you have already seen, even Surat Municipal Corporation is putting a park with certain locally manufactured equipment where they go for exercising. Now, what they are doing is that they are saying, okay, fine, we will create a virtual platform where you have to register yourself, and then a personal trainer will be provided online for you. And currently, he is trying to focus in Mumbai only, but slowly and gradually, then he said he will come down to different cities also. And this time of pandemic, you will be surprised to know he was working with around 160 people online and providing them support through his own app for physical fitness. I'm not saying that whether it will be scalable, it will not be, whether he has problem of fund or not, everything, I don't know that. But just think of an opportunity which he has exploited even during this lockdown. And you know what he was charging? 1200 rupees from single person for 2 hours of training, 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour in the evening. And he has divided into batches, and 160 people he has enrolled. Think of the scale in which a BCom second year student is providing that support. Now, that is one reason. I can give you the other reason, the other example. There's a student who is trying to work on that. What is the possibility that now with this pandemic, we are moving to this online? So, for example, if I want to create an interaction with you, so what should I do so that you write from there and I write from there and we both can have the same? You see around, still many institutions don't have this facility. Why? Because the facilities which are available, they are highly costly, and there's a lack of fund and resources available at the disposal of the institutions, and they cannot go ahead with that. Think on that line and you come. And then what I suggest is that we have all these facilities. We means when I say it is all SSIP centers are having these facilities, and they try to. One more important is business network. There's a lot of focus on becoming the member of some business networks in India. So there are a lot of, for example, TAI is having chapter in Surat. TAI is working on a national level. TAI is working on a global level. Try to become a student member of TAI and take advantage of that network. TAI has a lot of venture capitalists coming on and talking to the students. They even are ready to become an equity partner into your idea if they feel it can be commercialized. Become a member and try to take a support from them. And then there are certain other activities which you do, you have to take into consideration. I have already told you, we have to go for IPR, we have to go for verification of legal documents and all those things. There you can, I give you another good example. What is the problem when people file income tax? So they have to go to some accountant, they have to go some CA. There are now apps coming on where you can uh, file an income tax. I have some other, the student is working on some other solution. There are people who are into higher income brackets and they want to save tax. They don't want to evade tax, but they want to save tax. Now, can I help them into some kind of software where through a year they can track their income? And believe me, there is no such software which is helping, but you have to go to a CA and CA charges heavy fees. So think of that idea where you can go into. And then there are certain government bodies who, private bodies also, who are providing funds to run that. Now, a lot of trending activities are happening. These are just the activities which the students are doing. So these are certain events which happen across the nation and the state. You go and participate into any one of them. I believe you will be getting some kind of support where you can come out with your entrepreneurship. So these are the certain activities. One very important is finishing a school for a startup. A lot of NITs and IITs now they have started doing finishing a school for innovation and incubation. Try to be part of it. They provide full support to the students to finish it off. So I think these are the certain activities. I will not get into the criteria how they select, but they basically try to fulfill certain other objectives also in terms of the process which they follow. So the most important component is the originality of the idea and the product which you're coming out with. So think on that line, uh, work on certain. I can give you one more idea. There's a uh, student who's working on to help come out with an app which will help you to understand what are the commodities which you can export and which has a scope where it can be exported. So there is no such app available where you can go and check it out. That is it possible? Now these are all tech apps. Basically, technology is involved into it. So think on that line, and then you can work upon. So you can go for total support. You can go for rent. You can go for facilitation, whatever way you want. So this is related to AURO. I don't want to discuss here, but yes, Darshan, I want to just stop here. And if a student, if you want any questions to be taken up, please, you are free to take it up, and then we can.
Okay, thank you, sir, for your informative session. If any of the participants want to ask any kind of question, then we can have question answer sessions. You can write in the chat box. Otherwise, you can unmute yourself and directly ask the question to Rohit, sir.